My name is Earl McTavish. I'm Canadian, and I would appreciate it if you didn't say A. Why would you write that down if you didn't want me to say it? I've been hauling freight up and down the Manitoba roads for about 5 years now. I'm not really the type who scares easy. Give me a full tank of gas, a thermos, and a clear highway, and I'm a happy camper. I'll hook in the Bluetooth and listen to some podcasts to pass the time. I've never been one to believe in cryptids, ghost stories, or anything supernatural, but after what happened to me last week, I've changed my tune. I was heading north out of Winnipeg. It was one of those pitch-black prairie nights. I've been driving since 4 in the morning. My tank was full, but I was gassed. My eyes were becoming heavy. Shoulders kept locking up. I knew I had to pull over when the road started playing tricks on me. I would say this was around 2:30 a.m. I spotted an old blue sign for a decommissioned rest stop just north of St. Andrews. That place had been shut down for years. Had a real creepy vibe, with its boarded up windows, cracked asphalt, weeds pushing up through everything. I thought better to pull in there to catch a quick nap, rather than end up causing a pileup on the highway. So I eased my rig down the ramp and parked in the wide open parking lot. Not a minute later, I crawled into the back bunk and passed out. About 3 hours later, I woke up. The sun was coming up, but it was still dark and quiet. And I mean, real quiet. I didn't even hear the natural sounds of the forest. It was very eerie out here. I got out of my cab and wanted to stretch my legs for a bit. So I decided to walk around the old rest stop building and get the blood flowing. I've driven by this place a couple times, and I've always wondered what it looked like on the inside. The entry door was already halfway open, and just kinda swinging there back and forth. I grabbed my big Maglite and wandered over. The inside smelled like mold and something sharp, like copper. I swept the light around. Some old vending machines, tipped over benches, wallpaper peeling off the walls. It looked like how you would expect it to. I kept advancing further, past the front desk, into a big open area that looked like it was a lounge area once upon a time. That's when I heard a voice. "Help me, please. Somebody help me." I swung the flashlight toward the far corner. What I saw damn near made my heart stop on the spot. I don't know what the hell I was looking at, but it was tall, 9 or 10 feet, easily. It had gray skin pulled tight over muscle and bone, like it had been crudely sewn together. Picture 3 torsos stitched into each other side by side, like some kind of science experiment. It had multiple heads, 3 on top, and others embedded into its side. Dead eyes staring at me, mouths hanging open. There was one head right in the middle that kind of looked like a mutated bullfrog with rows of sharp teeth. I assumed one of its heads was whispering in that broken, desperate voice. "Please, it still hurts. Help me." Then, what looked like a woman's head on the left suddenly jerked up, her eyes locked right on mine, and she screamed. I couldn't move. I was floored by what I was seeing. Some kind of twisted abomination. The middle head then disappeared into its body as it got down on all fours. As it did, the faces on its side moaned in agony. It was the most disturbing thing I had ever seen in my life. The creature's flesh began rippling across its body, like something underneath was trying to push its way out. That finally kicked me into gear. I turned and ran like hell, boots pounding on the broken tiles, flashlight bouncing everywhere. I could still hear those wails and moans behind me. I burst out the front door and nearly ate dirt as I sprinted back to my truck. I didn't even close the cab door all the way. I just fired up the engine, slammed it into gear, and got the hell out of there. Gravel flying, tires spinning. I didn't let off the throttle until I was back on Highway 9, and that rest stop was long gone. Later, when my hands finally stopped shaking, I started thinking about all the people who have gone missing up and down that stretch of highway over the years. A father and son back in 2008. Their car found parked at an old pull-off, doors wide open, no sign of them. Or the young woman cyclist in 2014 who disappeared somewhere between Selkirk and Winnipeg. And those 3 loggers back in 2019, truck left running, one boot lying on the grass like they had got yanked right out of it. All of them real cases, never solved. I keep wondering, did all those missing people end up at that old rest stop? Did that thing I saw there collect them somehow? I don't know. A part of me is still coping. Maybe it was just a vivid nightmare I had while I was sleeping in my truck. Because if that thing is real, I can't even stomach the thought of someone being trapped inside of it, still begging for help. All I know is that I will never pull into that abandoned rest stop again. My routes will undoubtedly take me past there at some point, but I'll be sure to keep on rolling, no matter how tired I am.